Hey folks, my name is Chris Wessel, and today we're going to be tying a tricolored bomber. Hey folks, my name is Chris Wessel, and today we're going to be tying a tricolored bomber. Difference between a tricolored bomber and a normal bomber is basically exactly what the title says. Is the body is 3 different colors instead of 1 or 2. These bombers are pretty effective. The cool thing about them is you can literally use so many different color combinations. It's a great way to be a bit creative with fly tying. Not sure if you can hear the wind. I'm at a hotel room right now actually working, and we're in the middle of a storm. The wind outside is really howling outside my window there, so So if you've watched some of my bomber videos in the past, I was taping in my hackle at the tail before I started spinning the deer hair, but I've since tried to change my workflow a little bit, try to save a bit of time. For tying one bomber, it doesn't really matter, but when you're getting into trying to tie hundreds, it really adds up. And so the big thing you're going to want to do here is I take a Sharpie or any kind of permanent marker, and I try to just divide this in 3 and have a mark there for a reference. Just kind of doing it by eye. Alright, so I think we will start with a green. And I don't compress that first clump of hair that I put on, just because in the past I've had it slide back and over the tail, and just a real pain in the butt. I cut the tips off too because I feel like I'm getting I learned the trick from Wally Halloran. He's a Newfoundlander, ties a lot of bombers commercially. But I've been finding that by doing so, I'm getting the deer hair spinning around my shank a little bit better. I'm getting a little bit more even distribution of deer hair as it goes around. So anyway, I'm a firm believer, and there's always a better way to do something, and you just got to try stuff. If it doesn't work, you didn't really lose anything, but if you come up with a pretty cool new way of doing something, then why not? So before I go into another color on this body, I tried to make sure my last clump of fur that I left there is pretty even, because you'll see the color be uneven between them otherwise. Try white, I guess. I'm not sure how even that is going to end up being. Actually, that's a bummer. Looks like it may be a bit even down there. don't really know until you start trimming, but you'll get an idea of how it's gonna end up looking. We'll see. Something with me in videos and things sometimes just don't work out, because I just finished tying a bunch of these flies and I had almost zero issues, and then yesterday I tried filming tying one and everything was uneven, and oh man. This last one should do it. And we're trying to make sure that last color is pretty even there. Go with a yellow next. Let's just try that. Probably could have put another clump of yellow on there, but just gonna tie this off. Make sure I got my Rubbermaid clipping catcher. She got some really cool ones. I got like a Regal one. I believe I got a Shore one there, and I just always go back to this. I don't know why. It gets stuck in our ways. These tri-colored bombers are pretty cool, especially if you're using colors of a country's flag. I did some German ones. Seen people use the Labrador flag as colors before as well. They're really nice colors, and I mean, you getting salmon on them, brook trout will take them. So we just trimmed down a general shape that we're looking for here. Front, taper the front off. Go to the back. Worst thing about not putting the tape in the back is I've definitely clipped some calf tail off before. But you get used to it, and it has saved me time. There goes a little bit of calf tail there. Just put on extra calf tail. Alright, so we're going to taper, or kind of round off these sharper edges that we got on this. fronts. And we're just kind of doing some fine tuning here now. I've also switched over to using the partridge bomber hooks a little bit more. They're stronger. I really like them. I think I believe the model number is the CS42. They're pretty much identical in shape to the Daiichi 2110 and 2117, but it seems like they're a bit stronger than the Daiichis, or Daiichi, however you want to pronounce it. Alright, so that's the shape we're going to go with. Now this is a bit different. Now I've been just kind of putting my thread in the back here, bringing it around a few times till it's really secure. Using some Metz hackle today, or Metz saddle hackle. Bring that around a couple times. Not really convinced I like this method yet for hackling my bombers. Again, I'm just kind of doing some R&D to figure out if there's a better way I could be doing things, save some time, but still produce a good product. I bring my thread up through because I find if I do it afterwards, it almost always looks like crap. So, yeah. Not sure if I said Metz or whiting hackle. This is whiting. Gonna have to do a little bit of cleaning up around the eye of this hook, but the purpose of the video was to show you how to tie a tricolored body, not to not to show you how to make messy hackle up by your eye or hook. Just gonna tie that off and clean that up a little bit. Now, I've been using really watery head cement just to kind of lock in the fronts and backs on these bombers. And you can put a little bit up through the belly. I don't put a lot, so it doesn't really mess around with the flotation of the bomber. But it really holds them together, and it makes the difference of a bomber that lasts you 3 or 4 fish to a bomber that lasts you 20 fish. Alright folks, and there it is, a tricolor bomber. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.